Once the most powerful man in the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte is taken away as a prisoner. He was arrested by police after returning from Hong Kong and left Manila on Tuesday. Duterte is set to stand trial at the International Criminal Court in The Hague. In a message recorded before his departure, Duterte said he's being deprived of his legal rights.
So, what is the law and what is the crime that I committed?
Okay, so today we're going to the Philippines. We're going to see how this former president of Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, got arrested. He's being taken to the ICC and is being tried for deleting so many people on his drug war. And we want to see whether it was politically motivated, the arrest, or the ICC actually had jurisdiction and evidence to lock him up. Now, before we begin, please consider liking and subscribing. We're going to be looking at two different clips. This one is just short, like a minute or two. And then we're going to go to a more detailed report and analyze. So as we watch, please like, subscribe.
During his time in office, Duterte led a controversial war on drugs. The ICC warrant accuses him of crimes against humanity for extrajudicial executions. Police records show more than 6,000 people were killed. Some say the death toll is much higher. His legacy divides the Philippines. His actions were condemned by many, but others support his tough stance on crime.
When he was president, things were peaceful. There was less crime and there was order when he was in power. He did not deserve this treatment.
I think the arrest was the right action for the people who wanted justice for the deaths of their children, to get peace for those who were killed.
Duterte's arrest is a win for the ICC, but there are questions over its jurisdiction. The Philippines withdrew from the court in 2019, but the ICC insists it can still prosecute crimes committed before that date. There are also questions about the role domestic politics played in the arrest.
We did not do this because it was derived from or it came from ICC. We did this because Interpol asked us to do it. And we have commitments to them, and we lived up to those commitments.
An alliance between two political dynasties, the Marcos and the Duterte family, has broken down. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and his allies are trying to impeach Duterte's daughter, who is vice president. Marcos' decision to execute the ICC's warrant has allowed him to weaken a political opponent. Duterte has left the country he once ruled, uncertain if he will ever return.
Okay, so we're going to go to the next clip. As you can see already, there is a divide in the Philippines. There are some people who feel the former president is being locked up unfairly. Others feel that it was just and he should face consequences because so many innocent people may have been deleted in his drug war. So it is divided nation. Some are saying it is also political because the president and the vice president, who happens to be Duterte's daughter, are feuding. They have this problem with each other, and now they're seeing it like the president is coming after the dad, the father of the vice president. So it is a kind of complicated issue, but Duterte did not do himself favors because he recorded himself, saying all these things about how he was fine with deleting all these people who were doing drugs or selling drugs. And it's going to be very tough for him to defend himself. But let's go to this next clip. And as you watch, also like, subscribe.
Rodrigo Duterte is the first former head of state in Asia to be arrested by the International Criminal Court. He is accused of crimes against humanity for his alleged role in a brutal drug war in the Philippines. A wave of extrajudicial killings during his stints in office, first as mayor of Davao City and later as president of the Philippines, resulted in the deaths of thousands of people. Many were some of the country's poorest communities. ICC prosecutors allege that Duterte is criminally liable for those murders. So, what are the charges based on?
In Davao, I used to do it personally. Tagla naghanap ako ng inkwento para makapatay.
There's a 3 million drug addict. There are. I'd be happy to slaughter him.
Yeah, like the guy was just in the open. He did not care. He was just saying it plain in the open. I'm fine deleting these people. And He was just in the open, probably thought he was invincible, but now ICC, which Philippines withdrew from ICC, so I don't know how they were able to get him still, but ICC is now prosecuting him. He made a mistake because he thought he might be invincible, but Philippines is not like this other country which has a leader also being looked for by ICC. I'm not going to name the country because I don't want to lose everything that I ever owned in my life. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. There is this country whose leader has deleted so many innocent people, and ICC looks for him. They want to prosecute him, but the US is willing to even raid ICC or totally destroy ICC to protect him. I don't think they will do that for Duterte. I think Duterte is going to have a hard time. But I'm more concerned about the Filipino people in Philippines because the country is going to be split within the supporters of Duterte and the president who are going to start feuding with each other. But let's continue.
Ilan? 3,000? I will kill more.
But are these statements enough to convict the former president? Chuno Tarfusar is a former ICC judge who has presided over several cases at The Hague.
The interview you gave and you praise yourself for being so good and so brave, they fall back to you, you know. This is also evidence. I mean, this is evidence calling for the subjective element. The subjective element is your intention to kill.
Images and videos pulled from social media have been used in previous cases to convict suspects brought before the ICC. Take this video, for example. In 2012, militants with Ansar Dine, an Islamist group affiliated with Al-Qaeda in Africa's Sahel region, destroyed religious sites in northern Mali. They targeted centuries-old Sufi mausoleums. The group seen in the video was under the command of Ahmad Al-Faqi Al-Mahdi.
In these videos and the pictures, one could see persons destroying with hammer and lots of other tools this historical site. And these people were under Al-Mahdi.
The court ruled the videos were enough to convict and sentence Al-Mahdi to 9 years in prison.
I mean, ICC is mostly a court for African leaders. Let's be honest. It's a court for African leaders and other third world countries. Those are the ones that ICC can prosecute. But it's not all of them. Actually, ICC has a very poor record of actually holding people into account. So I can say he's going to have a hard time proving himself innocent, but it's a 50-50 chance when it comes to ICC. Plus, you know, there's going to have to be witnesses and all these things, and normally witnesses are made to disappear based on these strongmen that I've seen in many countries. They make the witnesses disappear, as was the case with the Kenyan president, who is, I consider, one of the dumbest people, and you're going to see him, but let's continue.
The ICC prosecution, of course, doesn't rely solely on these videos. It's also based on administrative documents, media reports, and witness testimonies. And even witness testimony has not been enough to convict in some ICC cases. In 2019, Tarfusar presided over the trial of former Ivory Coast President Laurent Gbagbo and one of his ministers. They faced charges related to post-election violence that killed about 3,000 people.
We discussed the evidence, or the prosecutor presented, I say, about 80 witnesses and thousands of documents. We found, and I'm still standing to this finding, we found that the prosecutor did not present sufficient evidence to establish the responsibility of neither of the two defendants, and therefore we acquitted him.
In other cases, the prosecution can fail to find enough witnesses. That's what happened in the ICC trial of current Kenyan President William Ruto.
Yeah, that's the guy I was talking about. He's one of the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever seen walk the planet. And I just don't like the guy. He's one of the dumbest presidents, I think, currently in the world, based on his decisions and what he does. He's not good. He's not a good person. And the fact that he was being prosecuted in ICC for crimes against humanity and the Kenyans still elected him, that speaks volumes. But this is a video. It's not about Kenya. It's about Philippines and what I think about Duterte, whether or not he will be prosecuted, whether he'll be able to walk free. I'm more concerned about the Filipino people because I feel like it's going to divide the country even further between his supporters and the president's supporters who are going to see it as political. But let's continue.
Ruto was accused of murder, deportation or forcible transfer of population, torture, and persecution. The crimes allegedly happened in the troubling period following the 2007 Kenyan presidential election that resulted in thousands of deaths and tens of thousands of displacements.
I think we were at that time convinced that the evidence presented by the prosecutor in the pretrial phase was sufficient to justify a trial. And therefore we said, go to trial.
But the case fell apart before the proceedings could begin.
But then these witnesses, I say, disappeared. They didn't appear in front of the court. They were not found anymore. And therefore, the evidence was not good enough, not even to open the trial, because we didn't find the witnesses.
Let me translate that. If witnesses they disappear, they're not found, that means the witnesses were deleted. They were deleted by the suspects. And I don't want to say the word because YouTube is gonna, mess up with the video, but that's what happens. When these leaders get arrested, they make the witnesses disappear, if you know what I mean. And I'm not speaking magic, I'm not speaking David Blaine. They make them disappear for real, and that's what the president of Kenya did, and that's what Duterte might do because he said it in the open. He doesn't blink an eye when he comes to deleting drug dealers and others. What about some witnesses? He can just do that, and his court case will be dismissed. But let's continue.
Duterte could have avoided prosecution at The Hague if it had been possible for his trial to be held in a Philippine court. Under international law, ICC cases can only be pursued if national jurisdictions are deemed unwilling or genuinely unable to pursue justice. While president in 2018, Duterte ordered the Philippines out of the ICC after the court began raising questions about his war on drugs. The withdrawal took effect in 2019, and the Philippines has yet to rejoin the ICC under more recent leadership. If a case is brought against Duterte in the Philippines, the ICC trial against him could be deemed illegitimate.
This is for sure something which will be debated in advance to the case itself. If the case is admissible before the ICC, or if it should be tried before a Philippine court. This will be the first discussion we will have at the ICC.
The jurisdiction question is a line that Duterte's defense appears to be pursuing.
My client was denied all access to the legal recourse in the country of his citizenship, and this all in the nature of political score settling.
The former president remains a popular, if controversial, figure in the Philippines. The Duterte clan is engaged in a bitter political struggle against current President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. The ICC proceedings may intensify the ongoing tug-of-war. Duterte supporters back home have condemned his arrest, accusing Marcos Jr. of being complicit. And despite being detained thousands of miles away, Duterte continues to command attention with defiant words delivered as he was taken into custody, resonating with many in his homeland.
This will be a long legal proceedings. But I say to you, I will continue to serve my country at so be it. No, ganun na. Destiny ko. Salamat.
Yeah, so that's the video. But do I think he's gonna be locked up for years? No, I don't think leaders as powerful as he was can just be locked up like a common criminal. I don't think so. Powerful people just walk out scot-free. So I don't think so. I think most probable thing that's gonna happen is most likely the Philippines will be saying, okay, we're going to try him ourselves, and the case is going to be taken out of ICC, and once he's in a Filipino court, I don't think they will lock him up, because that will cause serious tension inside the Philippines, and no government wants that amount of tension. So he might walk away scot-free. Even if he was to be in the ICC, most likely he will be just, not enough evidence, no witnesses, and he'll walk away free. That's what I think. Maybe I'm so skeptical, but that's what I've seen in this life. That's what happens. If there are any Filipinos, let me know in the comments, or please leave a comment, tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, and of course share this on all the networks. I'll see you next time.
Oh my goodness, all the networks! Wow! All the networks!